So here we are, Picard, episode 5, right? Oh, okay, you know what? Little thing I want to talk about. Not that it would save the show or whatever, but was like, this is basically an 8-part movie. Why not have just said this is just an 8-part miniseries, like Stranger Things, right? Like Stranger Things, season 1 was its own complete little story. I don't know how many episodes it was, right? But not that it would have helped, but I just think because they're trying to make it an 8-part movie, but classify it as a serial TV show, but it's anyway. I just thought that was odd. I think the show should have been like a 1-season miniseries, see how it goes, as opposed to whatever. This episode was again a filler episode. It had literally no. Plot wise, the only thing this show did was they got Maddox for like 10 seconds, blurts out that Soji's at the artifact. How he knows this? No. Hold on. He sent them there because there's some. I'm gonna be all over this place. I'm not gonna. Because there's so little on this show, I'm not going to be going progressive-wise. I'm just going to be whatever I think of. He sent Daj to Earth and Soji to the artifact to uncover information about some conspiracy. Okay, I love this. Because how Daj and Soji are not only not investigating your conspiracy, they don't even know they're supposed to be investigating a conspiracy. Like, what are you talking about, show? Where did you actually think this ahead? Daj has no idea. Like, what did Daj do to establish that she was investigating a blanket unknown? I'm sure they're probably going to try to explain it later on, but I doubt it. Oh no, I don't want to skip too far ahead. But it's like, she doesn't know she was investigating a conspiracy. Soji sure as hell doesn't know she's investigating a conspiracy. So what are you talking about? So that was bullshit. It's like literally Maddox was involved in the show just long enough. Like, I actually thought that Maddox would have been part of the crew, that he was going to be necessary to help connect with Soji or whatever, right? No, apparently we only needed Maddox just so that he could blurt out that Soji is at the artifact. Anyway. Oh, speaking of Maddox, right? So let me see if I get this straight. What was it again? According to Maddox, okay, the Tal Shiar destroyed his lab. Okay? Why did the Tal Shiar destroy his lab? Shouldn't it have been the Dox Vaj who would have destroyed his lab? But let's say it was the Dox Vaj, okay, and Maddox only thought it was the Tal Shiar. Okay, show, you brain-dead morons. That meant that the Dox Vaj knew where Maddox was. The Tal Shiar wouldn't have destroyed Maddox's lab because there was no reason to, unless they were somehow told by the Dox Vaj to do it. Which would have meant that the Dox Vaj knew where Maddox's lab was. Knew where Maddox was. Why wouldn't they have grabbed Maddox while in the process or before they destroyed his lab? Like, oh my god. Then, Raffi they go to Free Cloud. God, that place was so stupid. Like Las Vegas on steroids from the 70s. Speaking of the 70s, right? What was her name? Bajazel, whatever. Hey, Bajazel, okay? The 70s called. They want their B-movie sci-fi costume back. So, somewhere there's a costume department from the 70s, okay? That is missing an outfit. A nice shoulder. What was that? So anyway, Raffi, she's on some kind of Shadowrun board on how to be. Oh God! It's been so long since I played Shadowrun. If you don't know what Shadowrun is, don't worry about it. I'm just rambling here. A fixer. They need some kind of a go-between. It was such Shadowrun from here, but it's not like the writers know anything about Shadowrun, and most of you don't. But whatever. I'm rambling. Leave me alone. It's a part of my charm. What little there is. Anyway. Where was I going? Where was I? Oh yeah, so she's on this message board or whatever to find out about a go-between between her to sell or to trade Maddox with the Tal Shiar. Wouldn't that mean that the Vox Dodge would know that Bajazel has Maddox? So I was expecting in this episode that the Dox Vaj assassins would have shown up. No, because the writers sure as hell didn't think about it. And anyway, I'm going all over the place. So okay, I gotta start with. We'll start at the beginning because the whole torture scene is so infamous in for this episode. I really didn't get. I'm not going to overreact as much as everybody else is about this torture scene because it's almost I'm almost sympathetic to the writers because here's my take. Again, I wasn't part of the writers group. I wasn't a fly on the wall, but this is my take on that torture scene in the beginning of the episode. Is that the writers, I guess, needed to find some quick and dirty way to get the audience to not like Bajazel so that the show could justify Seven in killing Bajazel. So yes, it was graphic, yes, it was unnecessary, but it was the best these writers could do to get you to hate Bajazel enough so that you wouldn't be so upset, or you would be okay with Seven actually killing her at the end of the episode. So I understand why they did it, but at the same time, it's really kind of funny because there's been no effort. Like Soji, right now, Soji is the main catalyst of this show. Yet, does anybody care about Soji? Like, I have no interest. Like, are we supposed to just care about Picard going after Soji because the show says so? Like, the show has done nothing for us. I mean, maybe she's kind of the destroyer. Anyway, so Bajazel did this to Icheb because, okay, get this. And again, I'm not up on my Star Trek lore, so I might be missing something. But she makes money harvesting Borg parts from Borg drones. Okay, how common are Borg drones that there are enough Borg drones for her to be able to mine and make this a viable endeavor? Like, are there a lot of Borg drones around in the Star Trek universe that I'm not aware of? And not only that, who is she selling these parts to? Like she goes, she sells these Borg drone parts. Okay, who wants these Borg drone parts? Some of them are because again, I don't know much about Star Trek lore, so I might be missing something. But when they have Seven, Picard, Picard explains how she's an older model. So it's like, well, if she's an older model, wouldn't that mean her Borg technology is outdated? So yeah, she's full of Borg parts, but they're like, 2 generations old. So I really don't understand what's going on, because again, I don't know who wants this Borg technology, and the show doesn't know. It's just some random bullshit that they spouted out. I did like the bodyguard, Mr. Vup, because in that scene in the beginning, she goes, because they have Maddox, and she goes, kill him, and he's all smiles and happy. And then she goes, wait, and it's that. I did love that. It was kind of like a Klingon thing, right? It's like, you just said I could kill him. Now you. I did like that. And then she drugs Maddox. Why? Like, why did she drug Maddox in the first? Not only that. Okay, hold on. I'm skipping ahead. Why did she drug Maddox? What was the point? You could have just put him in. It just made no sense. Then, later on in the episode, because I'm going to be skipping. I'm not really following any type of format of any kind here. When Picard goes, I want to see Maddox or whatever, you don't actually see them bringing in Maddox. You look down, and there's Maddox on the ground, still drugged. And it's like, has he been there since the beginning of the episode, or 2-3 days? Are they saving sets? I mean, literally, how long was he on that ground? Did they bring him in and throw him down, and I somehow missed it? Or it's like, did they just... Anyway. Seven showing up. I told you they weren't going to explain it. They tried justifying it in that they made Seven. She just happens to be one of the Rangers. She just happened to be the only Ranger that showed up to fight. I mean, it's like, come on. Okay, this isn't an explanation, and they didn't even cover it. It was like, oh yeah, I'm a Ranger, and that's why I'm here. Oh, and isn't it convenient? Isn't it goddamn convenient that she's in the ship when they find out that when they have that Bejazel is the one that they gotta confront, and it's like bullshit. Because in all honesty, this was mostly Seven's episode. It was her character, her story. It was her story arc. I mean, the story arc of the show about getting Soji was barely covered, right? You didn't even see Soji this episode, which I thought was kind of weird. So yeah, it's like, oh, what a coincidence that 7 of 9 just happens to be. Anyway, then you get the video of, I think her name is Aggie instead of blonde woman, Blondie. Aggie's watching a video of Dr. Maddox baking cookies and then them kissing. And I'm going, who was videotaping this? Like, did you actually set like a little camera? Because it was, because she's looking down like POV, and I'm going, okay, so she's holding it, and then they start kissing. So was she like it's a little thing, but it was like, it's so cliche and so standard in TV shows and movies like this, where apparently somebody's filming, but they need it anyway. So then the ship gets to whatever that Free Cloud planet. and you get all these hologram ads. And it was like, okay, here was the thing. You started off the episode on such a dark tone. Like, it was such a, this is going to be a dark episode because, and then you try to put up this little humorous holograms of ads, and it was like, I'm no director and I'm no scriptwriter, but what's the terminology? Pacing or tone is like, what are you doing, show? It's like, did you not think that that opening shot wasn't going to put a pallor or a specific type of tone, and that we're supposed to just, oh yeah, don't like, because then you see these holograms and this humor and her and Aggie punching the robot hologram, and it's like, are we supposed to just somehow pretend or forget that actually happened in the beginning of the episode, that her pulling that eye out? It was jarring. I think the terminology is jarring. What else? Oh, and Raffi and the son, and her son. What? Why? What was the point? Like, did you need to fill 10 minutes of screen time? Because it served no purpose. I don't know. It was ridiculous to me. So then they can't rescue Maddox. They can't buy Maddox. So Seven goes, we'll trade. Okay? And everybody goes, yeah, okay, that's fine. And it's like, well, wait a minute, what do you mean? Do you have a plan to save Seven after the trade? No. Do you have a plan of what's going to happen after the trade? No. Do you have a plan that while they're doing the exchange, that's when you're going to rescue? Like, she's going to... Like, they had no plan of what was supposed to happen after the exchange because the show knew there wasn't supposed to be one. So, when Seven offered that plan of exchanging, they never went, okay, how do we have that plan of exchanging Seven for Maddox? How do we get it so that everybody gets saved? They never made that plan. They never established that plan. Right? So her getting captured... Anyway. Oh, and I kind of noticed because, like, you see the scene in the beginning with Mr. Vup and Bajazel. I'm just... whatever. And they're in a club, and you see that woman in that blonde-haired woman in that green sparkly dress playing the piano or whatever, right? And it's like a nice little nightclub type thing. Then when they go down to the planet dressed up, oh my god, Rio's dressed like a 70s like, you got Bajazel dressed as like some 70s reject from a 70s B movie. You got Rio's dressing up as some 70s pimp. I don't know what the hell Picard was supposed to be. And it was like... and here was the thing about Picard, right? Why was he acting like an Austin Powers villain? Like, I understand he was supposed to ham it up, and I guess it was supposed to be a humorous scene or whatever. But it was humor. It was a scene meant to be humorous. But I don't know. It just was ridiculous and for the most part unnecessary, to be quite honest. Now I forgot where I was. Oh yeah, so the girl, the blonde woman with the green dress. So when you have Picard and his crew go down, and when Rios first shows up, you see this dance club. But it's the same club with the same blonde woman in the same green dress playing the piano. I go, they are literally trying to save on sets here. It was just ridiculous. Like, I mean, was I the only one that noticed it was the same blonde woman in a green dress? No, it's a red dress. I think it's a red dress. Long green woman in a... Oh, what's that song? Long cool woman in a... Oh, God, I can't remember. There's a song. It's a 70s song. Long cool woman in a cool... black dress. Anyway. Like, it was the same woman in the same scene. Anyway. So then... Seven decides there's going to be a change of plans. Now, okay, try and visualize the scene. Seven grabs Bejazel. I don't even care if I'm saying her name right or not. Right, and so everybody dropped their weapons. So everybody's dropped their weapons. Now, the only reason everybody's dropped their weapons is because Seven could easily crush Bejazel and kill her right there, right? So we have a very tense situation that everybody wants to try and kill him. They're trying, and Picard goes, "This would be a good time to go. Hey, Seven, why don't you explain what's going on? What? Why don't you go? Hey, Aggie, beam us all up." And then, in the safety of the ship, then have the discussion. Then Seven takes her hand off of Bejazel's neck, now not establishing any level of threat to anybody, and decides to do exposition for the next couple of minutes, and nobody's doing anything. I'm going, everybody that had a gun, like, she walks away. Seven walks away from Bejazel. She's no longer threatening Bejazel's life. Why the hell is Mr. Vop or the other two women or anybody not grabbing their weapons and shooting everybody? No. Everybody, stay still. This is the exposition part of the TV show. So then he convinces Seven not to kill her, and they all leave. And Picard starts lecturing her about revenge. And it's like, did you not realize what just happened and what was going on? And like, shut up, you sanctimonious bastard. So they go up, and Seven goes, "Okay, I changed my mind. I'm not going to do revenge." The Rangers have sent a Corsair to come pick me up. Okay, when did this happen? Okay, you went down, Seven. You went down on Free Cloud with the full intention of not coming back. Okay, you had because you even tell Picard and everybody else, you guys beam up, I'm going to stay here, I'm going to kill her and fight my way out or whatever. So you did not call the Rangers before you went down. Okay? The only time you were going to kill her, you changed your mind, and then Picard goes, "Okay, beam us up." During the transport, the only time that Seven could have called the Rangers was during the transporting. That was the only time she would have had to be able to tell the Rangers to come pick her up. Then she goes, "Okay, I've given up the revenge, Picard. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to go back down on Free Cloud and wait for the Rangers to come pick me up. By the way, can I borrow 2 blasters?" And now, normally, I would have gone, okay. Now, if she had taken the blasters and strapped one over the shoulders and because just in case, right? No, here's what she does. Takes the 2 blasters, lights them up, has them cocked and ready, goes on the transporter panel and goes, okay, beam me down. And Picard's going, there's nothing suspicious about this. Nothing at all. Nothing at all. Like, it's not so much that the show is making Picard purposely stupid to not notice something up. It's that the show actually thinks that the audience is too stupid to not know what's coming up next, and that somehow Picard is gonna... Oh, it was such a joke. Then we have Maddox in sickbay. And the entire time I'm going, okay, Aggie's not a doctor. Okay? She's got a doctorate. Does it make her a doctor? Why is she suddenly the doctor taking care? Where's the EMH? Where's the EMH? Shouldn't he be the one taking control since Aggie has no goddamn clue what she's doing? No. Apparently, she's in control of the sickbay now, and she can get rid of the EMH, and the EMH can't do anything to stop the fact that Aggie is killing Maddox. And here's the other one. What is Aggie's plan in next episode? To somehow pretend that it was an accident? She's gonna get caught. If the show has it that Aggie was able to reprogram the memories of the EMH and what's your plan next episode, Aggie, in explaining how you killed Maddox? The conspiracy angle, I already covered that. Obviously, not so much obviously, but I guess what a reasonable thing is that Commodore O obviously either... I doubt she would have told her the truth, so I guess just told her whatever, she wanted to tell her to get it so that Maggie would kill Maddox. I don't think that she would reveal that Soji is the destroyer, so I think they're just going to have it so that we're going to, as an audience, just pretend or figure out on ourselves. They don't actually have... Which is why they cut out that scene of Commodore O actually explaining to Aggie what the problem was, because the writers have no idea what to explain. So just have it that the audience will just, fill in the blanks for themselves. So Picard learns Soji is at the artifact, so Maddox is no longer viable. We can kill him and get rid of him. Which I thought was kind of weird, because I actually expected Maddox to be a little bit more integral to the show and being able to, communicate and deal with Soji, but I guess the show doesn't really think that far ahead or know what's going on. Anything else? Yeah. This wasn't even really a filler episode. It was more a 7-story arc episode. That was kind of interesting because at least it was explained and it had an actual purpose within a resolution, as opposed to Raffi just anyway. There wasn't really much in this episode, but it was mostly harmless. To Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy reference. Don't worry about it. That's it for episode. This is it for part 5 of the 8-part movie serial. That's it for me. I'm out of here. See ya.